Today's session is going to be presented by Mr. Simha Sastri. I hope I got his name right. I'm going to give you a little bit of a brief about who this gentleman is. He's a graduate in electronics from Mysore University, someone who started his business way back in '96 through a consulting firm. I'm just giving you little briefs. He's given me a long list. I'm just going to give you briefs of whatever that he's given me. So this gentleman has his hands in many areas because he's got considerable amount of experience. He's one of the pioneers who's been part of the events community itself. He's also had other varied business exposures that he's brought to effect in the current businesses that he's involved in. So there is a past business experience that he's acquired a lot of knowledge experience that he's imparting into the new business. So he thinks he is well placed in the context of where things are right now to not just look at today's situation of being affected by COVID, but a post-COVID situation. He thinks he's better placed than many. So though he is going to give us a presentation about his own company, he's also keen to share with us what he is planning to do post-COVID. In fact, he says that he's put down an entire list of things that we could incorporate into our own events that would make our own events more, these kind of transmittable diseases safe. Anyway, so we are going to try and cover as much as possible within the time available. Mr. Shastri, if you're ready, I'm going to hand it over to you in a minute.
Sure.
I hope you've shared your presentation with Suraj. Everything is set?
Yeah, I'm sharing it myself.
Okay.
That's it.
Excellent. Okay. So for the benefit of people who have joined us recently, this typically will be a session that would last about 45 minutes. It would be split into two halves of one, a presentation, and the second half would be a Q&A. The Q&A, I would typically appreciate it if you can put your hand up for me to identify who wants to ask a question. I would appreciate if you ask one question and leave the floor for other people to ask their questions rather than have follow-up questions. If there is no one else to ask another question, you feel free to ask your follow-up question. We would try and limit everything to about 45 minutes and stick mainly within the context of the topic that is going to be discussed today. Fine. Okay. With having said that, for the people who again are not part of IESA, this is an IESA Chennai chapter initiative that is organized under the auspices of the HO. We are an association of the events community in Chennai. We are trying to do these webinars for the benefit of the events, hospitalities, entertainment industry at large within the country, so that people who are part of our own industry have an opportunity to present themselves, and by means of that have greater exposure within the community. Right. Having said that, sir, you can go ahead now, Mr. Sumash.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you, John, and thank you, Santosh. I really need to appreciate the effort being made by John and Santosh of IESA Chennai. They are really putting in a lot of work after they started the Chennai chapter. I'm one of the founder members of IESA way back about 3 years back, and I'm from Bangalore, based out of Bangalore. And Prime Events and Conferences is into the business of events, exhibitions, and audiovisual services, production, and rentals for the last 25 years. We have just stepped into our 25th year now. So we handle various things. We handle exhibitions, events, stage shows, promotions, parties, conferences, anniversaries, annual days, awards nights, seminars, DJ nights. We also undertake catering for a large gathering, special catering like Italian and French cuisine. Okay, then we also do entire fashion shows. We have been associated with various top-of-the-line fashion shows in terms of production. So, and we are part of Aero India for the last 9 years. So we have live video distribution of Aero India, challenging, and we deploy about 12 kilometers of fiber and almost 26 walls displays go live from our studio on the runway. Okay, we cover the event with about 8 cameras, and that has been our hallmark. And there's also something called the foul line and height monitoring, which we are the only company who does the foul line and height monitoring for display aircrafts. And we have been ISO certified, and of course we have got various certificates from our industry. and we are CRISIL rated, which is very important for all of us. And I think all of us here as event companies should get CRISIL rated. So that will give the financial health of your company and the confidence with the bankers, investors, and if you're going for any MSME support. And as I said, we established in 1996. We headquartered in Bangalore. We do pan-India. We have a pan-India reach. We have also served for exhibitions in Middle East, Africa, Germany, Sri Lanka, and Malaysia. And off late, for the last 4-5 years, we are not moving out as the price points are quite low and the costs have gone up. We started as an event technology company. We have a expertise and seamless integration of voice, data, video, any kind of situation. So we are able to sort this out for any complex event requirements. So we also give RFID solutions for logistics and crowd management. We have served major corporates from across India and clients from UK, USA, and Europe. So as I said, we are CRISIL and rated and ISO certified. I think all event companies should get these 2 certifications, which will help them to compete in the market. And so we are into mainly audiovisual and lighting. We have in-house watch-out servers and indoor and outdoor sound and a PA system. We have a conference setup, lighting. Then we have LED wall, plasma walls. We organize laser shows, though it is outsourced. So LED TVs, LCDs, and projectors and LEDs are all in-house. So we have in-house inventory. And we are based out of Koramangala. And our godowns are also in Koramangala, though it is a little away from the exhibition centers. And it is close to all the 5-star hotels in Bangalore, in MG Road and all that is about half an hour, 20 minutes to half an hour. And so we have done various events in this last 24 years. And yes, every event we learn something new. Every event has its own challenges, as you all are aware. And my second is events and exhibitions. So we have in-house Octonom stalls up to about 70 to 80 stalls. Maxima we outsource. We also do stall design and fabrication. We have in-house 3D and 2D design team. Okay, and we get superstructures. We work with IESA members, outsource the superstructures. And we do entire PA system for a large exhibition. We do on-site registration, IT infrastructure, audiovisual, decor, furniture, special events within the exhibition, okay, or the event, and kiosks. We also have touch screens. So now that touch screens will be a challenge to be used in a situation like this where social distancing is a must. So I'll come to that. There are a lot of challenges which we need to address. So we need to move out of a lot of things in future. And so let it be a conference, let it be a stage show, entertainment events, exhibition inaugurals. So we do a gala dinners. We do a fairly good job. We have a committed team of professionals with us. And entertainment shows, we are tied up with a lot of good bands, good dance troupes. So we do that. And this is some of the kiosks we design for at the airport. Okay. And so this is how we design and give the detailing. And conferences, seminars, we do telecalling, we do delegate acquisition, we do stage and projection, entire designing of backdrop and branding, audiovisual lighting, watch out, displays, gala dinners we organize, and also the awards night where it's rewards and recognition. So we have a lot of clients where we work annually with them on family days and rewards and recognition. So technology is where we started off in '96. Our first major event was with Amitabh Bachchan, Miss World '96, where we set up the International Media Center. So we handle the both print and television media as well as photography media. So we handle the entire media from across India and internationally. So that was our first major event. Then we started setting up Autumn '96, Cardiac CSI '96, all these events where connectivity was a big thing. And we specialize in giving temporary internet connectivity way back in '96. And video conferencing. We have done a lot of video conferencing across the globe based on ISDN. Today we have high-end lease lines. Those days it was ISDN, which is 128 kbps, but we have had fabulous throughputs. Okay, and we have done webcasting. We rent out walkie-talkies, audio and video conferencing, wireless and wired networks, barcoding, RFID, QR. This is a challenge now. So most of the things will be RFID. There's no badges, printed badges anymore, the physical badges anymore. So a lot of other things which will address in our social distancing thing. Let's debate and contemplate on that. So touchscreen kiosk, I was telling you, yes, we have touchscreen kiosk with, we do a lot of customized software, mouse down software, which used for a kiosk and so on. So voting pads, audience response systems is what we do. We have done a lot of photo ID cards, which we need to look at how these things can be implemented now in the this social distancing era. Okay, then simultaneous interpretation system. Okay, which is SIP. We have done for a lot of events. We have handled the IESA event where the French president was here for a big event in Bangalore, and we handled about 8 languages. And multimedia presentations is also what we do in-house. So we have done a lot of voice data and video integration, and we've been having various challenges in events, especially video is a big challenge because the inputs, a lot of inputs in terms of various connectivity and conversions and so on. So, but we are able to sort this out with the right equipment, and we have a whole lot of clients across India and the globe. We work with a lot of medical clients. We work with a lot of construction clients. Then we have done a lot of ITS clients. Okay, this is part of it, and some media groups as well. Okay, so we have a lot of depth in terms of our products and services. So we are basically hardcore production company. After this, we also do wedding decor, and also for birthdays. We have in-house designers and in-house carpenters, which we execute. And so that is really some out-of-the-box designs. It's not the regular designs which we set up. So people can get in touch with us if they will need any support in Bangalore and down south in Cochin. And the saying goes like this: when God doesn't answer your prayers, call an event manager. This is a quote I read long back, so it's always inspired me. And our contact details are below. And we are based out of Koromangala. We have pan-India reach. We work with partners. We also ferry our equipment. We are based on the costing and logistics and so on. So people can use us, use our support. Okay, and you can always say that it is your company. So you can give your T-shirts and so on. So we represent your company. We work as your company and your brand. That's it, and that is excellent. And you have any questions, you can let me know. Or you can type it, and we'll come back to it. There's another presentation. John, am I on track? John?
Yes, sir. Yes, you are on track.
On track, sir. How long is your second presentation going to take?
This is going to take about 10 minutes.
Go ahead, sir. Go ahead.
Okay, fine. So, see, the future, we will have social distancing is a must, and we cannot live without it. So, which is applicable for events, exhibitions, and gatherings. So, all our events, like the directly affected by this is our event and exhibition industry and travel and tourism. So, where and most affected is we. So, because we handle crowd, we handle people sitting next to each other. So because we do a lot of social gatherings, so this is a big challenge that's going to be there in future. And in events, we have conferences, seminars, workshops, training programs, and rewards and recognition nights, where we need to follow the social distancing at every step. From the time of check-in, their screening, temperature screening, then they have to be subjected to a disinfected tunnel. That Hello?
One moment, sir. Everyone, please kindly mute yourself. Thank you. Sir, go ahead.
Yeah, the disinfectant tunnel or sanitization tunnel is a challenge because the government has banned sodium hypochlorite. So we need to look at what they are going to allow. Somebody yesterday presented about nano silver particles. So we need to see that whether these are allowed and as it either elegance in this and so on and so forth. So, but anyway, temperature scanning becomes mandatory, and all the security personnel and entry personnel have to be in a PPE. Personal protection equipment is a must. Okay, but apart from the blue thing, it may become more cosmetic, it may become more colorful, and so on and so forth. But PPE is going to stay here for some time till we have effective cure for the COVID and vaccines coming into place. And so again, trade fairs, expos, promotions, and roadshows. Again, this is a big challenge right now. People are contemplating on virtual expos at the moment, and maybe by next year things will start rolling out. Anyway, China has announced a exhibition in the month of June. Okay, but I don't know how successful they'll be because travel from other countries will not be possible. The immigration will not allow people to travel to China. So by, let's say by September, October, or maybe December, the exhibition industry opens up, and there we have a big challenge because we have to ensure social distancing. We have to have markers, we have to have scanners, we have to have sanitizing stations, hand sanitizers, general staff have to be in PPE, and so on and so forth. And so a lot of challenges will be coming up, and we need to look at how to handle it. And the other events, gatherings, especially marathons, we are doing about 4 marathons in a year. We are doing the entire production of the digital media and content for all the marathons of Delhi Marathon, Calcutta, Mumbai, and Bangalore. So we deploy about almost 2,500 to 2,800 cabinets. So which is we make up the graphic animation and put these things up. So 30, 40, so this becomes a big challenge. So social distancing is a challenge. How the May marathon in Bangalore has been cancelled and it's postponed to September, and we need to see how they're going to handle this. I'm sure they're putting their minds together. Sporting events, we work with a lot of sporting events, weddings, religious functions, political events, concerts, and awards functions. All this are subject to the social distancing thing. And the order of the day, so this testing becomes mandatory. You have to set up a test kiosks, one test kiosk at an event if somebody is unwell and so on. The sample has to be sent to the health department. Okay, and then the personal protection equipment becomes all the security staff and the general stuff where they're exposed to people. So though it will not be in this blue color, it will be more cosmetic, to branded, and so on and so forth. So this is what I expect, I foresee. And temperature scanner will be a need. People have to be infrared fluorescence thermometer is a must each of the event site. So this becomes a mandatory at all events. And those kind of scanners is what one of our friends have come up. So this we are going to also will be making it in Bangalore. So this has a face recognition plus temperature scanner, and there's a sanitizing sanitizer available and a tissue, and also there's a disposable bin. So these are the things that will be there because people are not going to keep scanning people personally. So people avoid, so they need to maintain social distancing, this kiosk will become very popular. So this is what we are looking at production in coming days. And I sincerely thank IESA Chennai chapter for this opportunity. Thanks Santosh, thanks John, and thanks Suraj for coordinating. And it's been, they're doing a great job for IESA Chennai. And they have done a lot of IESA events in exhibitions and events in Chennai. And we look forward to supporting them more in the future. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
We are open for questions. Anyone would like to raise any questions, feel free. You may raise your hands. It would be easier for me to coordinate the questions. Anyone has a question right now? I can't see any hands. So if anybody has a question, feel free to go ahead.
Santosh has a question.
Sir, please go ahead.
So I have a question now. You've shown these kiosks.
Yes, sir.
Will you be able to rent that out to other event managers too?
Definitely. See, we are only looking at rental model only, because I'm sure there's no point trying to buy. So if you have a lot of events regularly happening, I suggest that you buy it. We'll be trying to work out with Bajaj Finance how to do a EMI sort of a thing. Okay, so it's always, as an event company, it's better to buy, because you can.
Will you be able to share the specs with us, sir?
Sure, I'll do that. Okay. So it has a
I think it's a very interesting model that you.
It's a face recognition system, and it has a temperature scanner, and all this gets logged, and we are going to Wi-Fi enable it, and it is also going to be alert in case somebody is above the normal temperature. It's going to alert the organizers. Okay, and also it will go to the person who's in the testing thing. So there's a testing kiosk will become a mandatory system. So people will, government will say, you need to set up a test kiosk, whether we have a patient or not. The suspect has to be tested, and the sample to be sent to the health department. So that will become mandatory. So we are trying to see how we can integrate Wi-Fi into this and send an alert to everyone.
Thank you, sir.
Any questions?
Good morning, sir. This is Suraj from Stage 3.
Go ahead.
Yes, so, yeah.
Sir, I have a question now. As I was looking for on your PPT, you said that you are also an event technology company.
Yeah.
Now, the way forward is that most of the conferences that we were having, these physical conferences, they are going to be moving to a virtual platform. So, do you have some solution that you have? You might be making that solution, or you already have that solution.
We
Not
had
like for meetings. Sorry.
Yeah, we had a application called Event Manager. So because I used to make software about a decade back, so now we are going to take it out, and we are going to make a application which we are started work on the application in terms of desktop version, also mobile version for conferencing, okay, as well as virtual expos. It may take a couple of months, but we'll be rolling out.
Yeah, because Zoom is more like a meeting platform. We are looking at something where you can actually create different separate conference rooms, and conference rooms, one person can join into conference rooms.
Exactly.
Like an international one.
We can have parallel tracks happening, and we have tied up with Event Bank. So in fact, they were supposed to come into the country. We had that exhibition showcase event happening in Mumbai. So it got cancelled. Otherwise, Event Bank is going to come in a big way. We are going to associate every member of IESA, so that you will take the advantage of Event Bank, which is a American-based company. So we are working closely with them and creating a lot of new things on Event Bank. So that would be beneficial. More, I'll share information as we progress. Suraj.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. There's another question. There's a question from Mr. Ganesh Ramakrishnan. You can unmute yourself and go ahead, Mr. Ganesh.
Okay, hi. I'm Ganesh Shri Events Chennai. My platform, I'm more into the entertainment segment of the eventing part. Like, I'm more into a lot of interactive activity, in the sense, like, interactive entertainment, as you would call it, whether it's building, bonding, and stuff. But right now, looking at the situation, it looks like getting a crowd together is going to be not happening for the next quite some time. So I was though I did try to do an interactive karaoke session online for a corporate client of mine. We had this lag between sound and actual video being thrown in, and that was an issue which we were facing. Like, in that sense, if I did try a Zoom, karaoke setup, but what happened was the lag between people singing as a group was getting to be very difficult. So, is there any platform which which could where we could get through this bottleneck, right? Anything that is being developed, or anything that's already there existing, whether it's a
See,
paid
now
or
what I'll share is there's one magician, Tushar. So you need to look at this because Ganesh, he has started doing online, mind shows. Okay, so he's been popular. He started doing mind. He charges 5,000 per show for about 50 participants on Zoom, and he's doing amazing. Okay, so we need to innovate. We need to definitely again brainstorm. I request Santosh to again put up a different brainstorming thing. See, because we need to definitely address these things like in the entertainment industry. So how are you going to handle it? So it's a big challenge because one is karaoke, again, social distancing. All this is going to ease up. Social distancing you need to maintain, which is about 5 to 6 feet between people. Okay, so the crowds are going to, if a hall holds about 300 people, so you have to cut it to 100 people. Okay, so social distancing norms will become a must, masks will become a must. So, and on the digital platform, yes, I think there is a karaoke, online karaoke happening. I'll share it with Santosh and John, so they can share it with you. I'll explore on that and get back to you, Ganesh. Can't hear you, you're muted.
I'm not talking about online karaoke, I'm talking about a platform where there could be an interactive element of detailing, like live ones happening between a bigger crowd of about at least 100 people at every time. That is what I'm trying to,
Yeah, we have a group called Normal is Boring. So here there are a lot of DJs. There's a group called Normal is Boring, NIB. Okay. So here there are a lot of DJs in this group. And we have, I'll share a link on that. You can become a member of, it's a closed group. And they hosted DJ nights on Facebook. So a lot of people joined on the, so that is one platform. Facebook I've seen is quite enjoyable because this DJ came on Facebook. It was like exactly a DJ kiosk. He had set up the lights, everything. And he had a very good DJ tracks running. And people were, and it was live, so people enjoyed it. So that is one platform. Facebook is one platform which you can explore.
Thanks.
Thank you, sir. Anyone else? Any other questions?
This is Srinivasan Valraman, and I want to understand this this CAN as testing kiosk. Is it a very portable one, and what could be the size and weight of it?
So the size is about 6.5 feet, okay, and it has got a image face recognition system. There's a sensor and there's a temperature sensor, okay, and there is a dispenser for sanitizer. There's a tissue dispenser, and at the back side there is a garbage collector. So you can dispose of your, after using the sanitizer or tissue, you can dispose the tissue in a safe manner. So this is about, the width is about 2.5 feet, okay, and it is portable. So this is the weight will be about 40 to 45 kilos, and we are doing it in SS, so it can be kept properly and in a hygienic manner. So all these booths will be sanitized. If you are giving it on rental, it will be sanitized and sent to you with the packing, and our team are going to come and set it up. In case you want to buy, we'll be sharing the commercials shortly. So, the price will be quite competitive.
Thank you, sir. Any other questions? So, meanwhile, I think I'd quickly like to share a point with you. I'd ask a question as well. Uh, in the context of materials that we are going to be supplying, no matter whether if it is something that is going to come in contact with people participating in an event or otherwise, do you think we as an industry have to create a sanitization standard that we should talk about for, that we are complying with for each event? Like, for example, we give chairs out on an event, it is going to come in contact with the human body in whatever form. Should we create some kind of a standard within the events community to say that every time we give out our material, then the material is subject to this kind of treatment. Therefore, now it complies with this standard. Should we as a association think about working to create one standard that we can now impart into the rest of the industry? Just an observation that I would like you to weigh in.
Right, Mr. John. It's a very good, valid point. See, now we have to set up fumigation chamber at the event site. So when you take the material in, you fumigate it and put it up, set it up, and your hand mics, everything has to be sanitized. So you also give personal sanitizer packs to all your guests as well. Okay, that becomes a mandatory norm from an event manager. And the chairs and all the general items, it gets fumigated when it enters. It gets fumigated after the event. So when it goes back to the go down, so people don't get infected, your handling people don't get infected, and gloves and everything becomes a norm. Masks become a norm for all the handling people, material handling staff. And so a fumigation chamber will be definitely a requirement. That even if exhibitions, we have to sanitize everything. And in fact, we are exploring a possibility of disposable tables, so which is of corrugated thing, so which will be use and throw.
Thank you, sir. Any more questions?
Sir, I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Whatever you said is okay when we do an expo or a convention outside where we construct all this. But when you do it in a hotel, with all the time limitations that are there, do you think all this is practically possible, sir? And if
It has to be done. See, because now if it's a hotel, it's the hotel's responsibility. So they will also be getting the document from the advisory from the health department.
Yeah, because for example, there is an event going on. That event is finishing, materials are moving out, and we are moving in. So there will be a clash somewhere, no, sir? So
That's
who's
what
going to do
challenges.
the audit of saying that the materials have been sanitized and then brought inside? The crew have been properly disinfected and then coming inside? Because there'll be a confusion of people crossing over, because you know that we do not have time when we are having setups.
True, but the things are going to change. Things will be different in future. So it's not that hotels, properties are going to have a show in the morning and the evening. There'll be one show per day, because I've been talking to F&B teams. They're saying they'll be having one show in a day. That's the only way they can handle the entire sanitization thing, because the advisory is going to come to all the hospitality industry and the event industry. There'll be a big advisory that is going to come up, which becomes mandatory to follow. And as responsible citizens, I think we should accept it and follow that, so that the spread of this virus can be restricted.
See, when we are sanitizing equipment, this is basically a spray. It's a wet product. So when you're sanitizing an audio equipment, don't you think there you're actually putting the engineer in risk because it is wet and he's playing with current? So
True. See, now you will not have the moisture-based thing. You'll have the smoke-based, like a haze-based, what they use in the operation theaters. So those kind of fumigating gases will come. So there'll be different chambers set up for it. I think it is for our own safety. Okay. So I think that somewhere, things are going to ease out. Okay, in terms of the virus spread. And so because a person doesn't, when you know that he doesn't have, or is not carrier of a virus, or he doesn't have a symptoms of COVID, so you have no issue with him. You have no issue talking to your crew and so on. And as such, crew also, now if you are setting up a console, no sound guy has to be 6 feet away from the lighting guy.
Just with all the limited space, it is a challenge, sir.
Oh, it's a big challenge. Definitely, it's going to be a big challenge, Santosh. And as we move, I think these challenges definitely as event managers, and we'll find solutions. I don't think it is because the event has to go on.
We need to collectively sit down and chalk out a complete plan, sir.
Exactly. So if you could organize another brainstorming session, maybe for about 2 hours, I have a license for Zoom where I can set up for more than 2-3 hours, about 100 participants. So we can brainstorm and list out all these things. And let's come out with a white paper, Santosh.
Yes, true.
Because for us, it's a big challenge.
Absolutely.
So what do you do with, because now 3 events got cancelled. These are major billing events for us. And now they have slated it for September. And I'm not sure this is going to happen in September as well. So it's a big challenge for our industry, and we have to put our heads together. And this is what, in fact, Raghav of Exhibition Showcase, we had a lot of meetings. Did you attend the Trade Fair Times meeting?
I couldn't attend that.
Oh, I'll share the things in future. See, TFT and Exicon, TFT and the Exhibition Showcase had this, we put up this event where webinar where all the industry experts internationally and Indian, we were together. And I've also asked Mr. Moray to give a representation. They have sent a representation. See, we are seeking about 25% soft loan of our previous year's turnover from the government, which is repayable in 5 years for the support of MSME event industries. And plus, we're also looking at tax holidays. We've asked for 2 years tax holidays, maybe at least if they give for 1 year tax holiday. This is a must because we are nowhere, because we are companies where we handle people. So what do we do? We have staff, we have equipment, we have EMIs to be paid. We have a lot of commitments. So government has to bail us out. And all these people are sending the proposals. Let's see. So these are the points which we need to brainstorm, Santosh. So because going forward, we are the only industry who suffer the most.
I think we have Vishal Patel also raising his hand, and Srinivasan also. One of you all will start.
Yeah, we'll go ahead, Mr. Patel. Would you like to ask your question first?
Yeah, hi, sir. Yeah, I have the question that what we see in the future, like the event will be hopefully started in somewhere in September or third quarter of the season. But do we see that the scale of the events can be reduced to certain extent? The gathering of the people and the number of people what we are focusing can be reduced to the scale?
Yeah, we need to test the waters. So people are going to test the waters. So slowly, because we have this big marathon, TCS 10K is a big marathon, which we are part of. So they have announced it in September. So we need to see how they are going to handle this event, because we have nearly 45,000 participants. And so how are they going to handle social distancing? I'm also doing a wait and watch. And this is one of the largest events. Maybe they're going to do it and they're going to cut the size of the event in terms of participants. So we are not sure. Or it's going to have they're going to make rows to start off the marathon 6 feet away from, so 6 feet away. So they're going to start like that, not like a natural marathon, which used to group up and go. So a lot of things are going to be there. And let's see how it's going to shape up. And I'm sure as we progress, we'll have a lot of solutions falling in place. And I'm sure concerts and all that are going to happen next year. And people are going to maintain social distancing, themselves being responsible. And it's a good thing for us to also be hygienic. So a lot of hygienic practices are going to come back. People are going to follow hygienic practices. And washrooms is a big challenge. So a lot of foot pedaled operating taps are going to come up, pedal operated, where there's no touching. Okay, so a lot of things are going to change. A lot of things are going to change.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you, Vijay.
Srini sir, would you like to go ahead?
Yes, sir. Sir, probably very soon we may get lockdown is open up. We will go for our work. And what kind of precautions we need to take for our staff, technical staff, or my people carrying the material, and they are going to meet different scenario, like traveling through the truck and meeting the security guard and bringing the equipment inside. A lot of things. Some thoughts on that. What could have first main precautionary we can take?
First is a gown. A overall is a must. So you can use a non-woven 90 GSM fabric, which is available with a PP, polypropylene coating. Okay. So you can do your own colors. There are a lot of colors available. So whereas in the regular PPP in the hospital, they use blue and white. So you can use orange, you can do different, but this is going to be a must. Blouse is going to be a must. Mask is going to be a must. Okay. So all this is going to be mandatory, and each of your persons, the person has to carry a sanitizer, and they should be trained not to touch their face and so on and so forth. So they'll have to use sanitizer when they're going to have anything to eat, put anything into their mouth, or even drink water. So a lot of things are going to be, training is required for the staff, and sanitizing is a must. Your go downs have to be sanitized. So fumigators are going to come in, not the regular liquid-based fumigation. Gas-based fumigation is going to come in. So which you keep fumigating your equipment to ensure that you don't get infected. Because you see this virus, you don't even know where it is, how it's going to get transmitted. So we are handling a very big invisible challenge. So precautions is a must, and especially protection of your person. PPE, personal protection equipment, masks, sanitizers, gloves is going to become an order of the day.
Thank you, sir. Any more questions? Anyone? Yes, Mr. Madhu, go ahead.
Mr. Shastri, my question to you, since you've been very closely associated with the government bodies and the advisory boards, like to understand, what is the earliest possible time where the industry can at least start some activities? See, recently I read a news that Germany has cancelled all its events officially by the government till August 31st. So what is the Indian government, or according to you with your close association, the earliest thing which can start off, at least with the crowd of 50, 100, with some kind of a norms, and then go over?
Sir, you can have social events even now, up to 100 people. If there's a wedding that's already been planned earlier to this COVID, you can hold it with social distancing norms. So government has permitted that up to 50 to 100 people, okay, not more than that in a gathering. And they all have to be temperature scanned and so on and so forth. Plus in future, I think, see, September, I told you, these people have, the marathon has been given a date on September 18th, I think, okay. So it's a big event. It's about a gathering of 40,000 people. So I need to check out. I'll be talking to them this week and understanding how they're going to handle this and what is the support they require. And for the general staff, PPE is going to become a norm. So the colors will change, the cosmetic look will happen, and scanners are going to be a part of a thing, like a QR scanner, temperature scanner is going to be part of the thing. And then you will not be issuing any printed badges. Okay, so all this will go, and you'll have a QR code which they're going to point to a kiosk. Okay, so the people-to-people interaction will be close quarters, people-to-people interaction will stop. And so if you are practicing social distancing, I think even a large event can be held. That's not a problem. I think things will start looking better from September, October onwards. This is what I feel. In fact, June, China has opened up announced the exhibition, end of June. And I heard Singapore is not going to have any events for one whole year. So it depends on the governments, depends on how they are looking at this entire COVID.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Anyone else? Any questions? We have time for one question.
Yes, I have a question. Uh, Hello?
Who is this?
Yes,
This is Ganesh here again, Ganesh.
Go ahead, Mr.
So you had mentioned that, you had applied to the government. Earlier you had mentioned that, you had spoken to the government about, tax rebates and, loans for MSMEs. On a realistic note, how far away are we from any tax rebate of any sort? Because, GST is one thing which has been putting things off very badly, especially for things which we build, but we are not able to get payments. The bigger events which have happened, and we have not got the payments just because, there's nobody to disperse the funds and stuff like that. How far away are we from any sort of tax rebate or anything on this?
We have pressed for, now we are paying advance GST. Now, after raising the invoice, we have requested the government to give us 60 days time.
Right.
For paying the GST, number one. Number two is we are asking for a GST holiday. We have asked them for 2 years GST holiday for the industry to go again. And also 25% soft loan on the previous year's turnover, which is repayable in 5 years' time.
Repayable in 5 years.
5 years' time without interest for MSMEs. So you should have Aadhaar Udyog number, which is a must if people don't have. So Aadhaar Udyog you can have, it is a mandate. So government is going to look at Aadhaar Udyog number, and better to have a crystal rating if you can. It is a very quick thing that happens. You have your local crystal body. So get a crystal company crystal rated and ISO certified.
Thank you, sir. Any other question? One last question.
There is a question in the chat box. What kind of maintenance is needed for equipment since it is not been operational ever since lockdown? So,
sir, again, you need to first vacuum it, remove the dust, okay, remove whatever dust that is collected. And if it is in a moisture-based situation, you need to use the hair dryer, dry out the things, okay, open the cabinets and dry out things. If there's any moisture, that will go, and vacuum it. And then check your fuse and other things, check for the connections, switch it on and check it out. And that's the right way to do it.
Fine. With that, we come to the conclusion of our. Okay, I think there's one more question. Yeah, okay. I think we're done, sir. Okay, we are at the end of today's presentation and Q&A from Prime Events and from Mr. Shima Shastri. Sir, thank you very much for the time you've taken to present details, a vast amount of details about both your business and also about our preparation and a preparedness for facing a post-COVID scenario. Thank you very much.